lately there's been increasing reports that Trump's mental state is in decline, and my initial reaction was not sure how you could tell, frankly. I feel like he maxed out his dumbass stats a long time ago. I mean, even in 2016, he was known for these barely sensical word salads that his supporters ate up with fervor, which I always found odd considering MAGA thinks salads are gay. But you remember when he suggested nuking a hurricane? Remember when he bragged about acing that identify an elephant so we know your brain ain't soup test? Yeah, that was years ago, and people ate it up. Like, he might as well walked out on stage with one of those little toddler boxes and put the square block in the square hole and got a standing ovation for it. Like, we've been here, all right? But still, things can get worse. It's like just when you think your cat can't be any more of a crackhead, one day you catch it stealing copper wire out of your dishwasher, right? Things can get worse, and that is happening with Trump. Like, his rambling diatribes are going even further off the rails. He keeps repeating this thing about electric boats sinking and giving sharks lightning powers. It's hard to explain, but just imagine I sincerely made the argument to you that we should not have gun control because pepper spray bottles might explode. Also, there's a bear. You would tell me to go to the stroke doctor. Speaking of doctors, Trump also recently bragged about acing a memory test given to him by his doctor, Ronnie Johnson. Problem is, the guy's name is Ronnie Jackson. Now, Ronnie Jackson is a congressional Republican, so I'm sure when that happened, he was like, no, he's right. I'm Ronnie Johnson. It's fine. No, he's right. I'm wrong. My parents were wrong. You can call me whatever you want as long as you love me, Daddy. We get a new clip like this from Trump every other day, and I know there's plenty of Biden brain clips out there too, but they feel a little different to me. I feel like most of the Biden clips I've seen are either like cropped to remove critical context or kind of just show a papaw eating an ice cream cone, which apparently really pisses some people off. And then he'll go out and crush the State of the Union, and they're just like, well, they clearly drugged him up. What? Do y'all think the limitless drug is real? Like, I know Adderall's wild, but they think it's a cure for papautism. That shit would be out selling Viagra. What are they talking about? But this is what they always do, right? Every time. Yeah, hang a sheet from your wall and point them at it for your next watch party because nothing excels at projection quite like the GOP. They jumped all over Biden's gaffes early because they knew they had to get out in front of their own boy going down the pudding path, all right? They don't care about Trump's brain. As long as he wins, that's all they need. They can still use him. They'll just weekend at Bernie's his ass out on stage, prop him up and play YMCA while a couple of congressional aides Geppetto his arms into doing that little double fisting dicks move he loves so much, and the crowd goes wild. Meanwhile, they push through a bunch of laws that make taxing the rich and listening to women illegal, you know. But if Joe wins and he's in decline, he might peacefully transfer power, and now you got a black woman in charge. So obviously that's an apocalyptic concern for them. Either way, we're going to see for ourselves soon, right? The debate is next week. Yeah, I'm not sure it's really going to matter that much, frankly, because I feel like based on most of the things I've seen, Trump could stop rambling about Mexicans just long enough to audibly poop himself on stage. And if Biden stammers a couple of times while discussing actual policy, the next day all the headlines will be, Trump shits all over Sleepy Joe, because that's just the world we live in. God help us all. All right, YouTube, let's look at some of the media coverage of this story and more in a second. All right, y'all, we're here on Ground News' website. They also have a Chrome extension and an app. So you can see here, we're looking at the articles having to do with the fact that Trump challenged Biden to a cognitive test but confuses the name of the doctor who tested him. You can see right off the bat, you get this handy dandy summary up here on the right on Ground News. Ground News is a startup and service that aims to combat bias in the media by adding context and transparency to all the news that you consume. Plus, it's a subscription-based service, so you don't have to deal with any ads. Pretty sweet. Now, back to this situation here. They've aggregated the articles about this, and you can sort them by the bias of the provider. You can see for every article before you even click it, you can see the ownership group, the factuality rating, and the bias of the provider. And if you sort these headlines, you can see the difference in how they're reported. See on the left-leaning bias, it says Trump forgets the name of his doctor. But if you sort it by right-leaning bias, it says Trump mixes up his doctor's name. Well, did he forget it or did he mix it up? You see how those subtle differences can have an impact on the way you interpret the things that you are reading, right? But Ground News has got a lot else going on. I'm going to show you some other favorite features. Here's the blind spot feature. This shows you things that are not being covered on either side of the political spectrum, so you can get outside of your own bubble for a second. And then also, if you go to your account page, you could check out your own media biases by showing an aggregate of all the articles you've read and which ones were on which end of the political spectrum. So it gives you an insight into how your own biases may be affecting how you consume your news. Those are just some of the great features offered by Ground News. All right, y'all, it's 2024. It's an election year. It's never been more important to add context to your media consumption. So click the link in the description below to try Ground News today for free, or you can get 40% off their highest tiered Vantage program. Y'all, like I said, it's never been more important to push back on the bias and BS. Try Ground News today. What's up, YouTube? We're back. So, yeah, they keep talking about these debates coming up, and they say, oh, Biden, he's done great. He stacked the deck in his favor. And I'm just not sure I believe it, because they're like, oh, there's no live audience. That's an advantage for Biden. It's like the idea that if Trump don't have a bunch of mouth breathers staring at him with those cartoon hearts in their eyes, that he can't continue to say crazy, stupid shit. I'm not sure that I buy that. I feel like I've seen him bomb even in front of his own supporters, and it never seems to impact the set list at all. He just does what he's going to do. I don't know if the absence of adoring lunatics is going to matter too much in terms of the discourse coming from Donald Trump. Also, they said that it's at nighttime, and that could be a big deal because a lot of these people talking about the cognitive state of these two, and of Trump in particular, have said that he's mostly been speaking during the afternoon recently because perhaps he's sundowning, which is the thing with dementia patients, where like after the sun goes down at nighttime, their cognitive faculties slow down considerably. So Trump during the debate might turn into like a solar-powered Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, just right, which I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But either way, I feel like, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's just going to be Trump being Trump. And then they talk about cutting the mics out, and that's going to be an advantage for Joe. It is, unless they're on stage beside each other and they can still hear each other. Then I feel like it could end up making Biden somehow look even worse. You following what I'm saying? Like, if we at home can't hear what the other person is saying, but they can hear each other, then you're going to have all these clips the next day of Biden trying to give an eloquent response to something, but he keeps stopping and be like, yeah, the thing with the border is we have to, because Trump won't shut the fuck up and he can hear it, so he's getting frustrated, but it looks like he's just stuttering and stammering and doing Papaw Biden stuff again. So I'm not concerned. Maybe it's just my inherent pessimism that I've only garnered after these past 8 years of living in this hellscape, by the way. But I just don't know. I feel like because I'm gun shy, because last year I was all for the debate and then I ended up regretting it more than anything ever after it turned into a second grade Zoom lesson. So like, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. Fingers crossed, hoping for the best. We all know Donald Trump's a dipshit. If he's getting dip shittier, is it going to keep anybody from voting for him? No. Is it going to keep things from going to shit even worse when he gets in office? No. So we just got to hope that Biden pulls it out. What else you want me to say? Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm going to put these things up here. This is my special. Damn boy, watch that. One of these circles, subscribe to the channel so you see all these videos of my podcast and other fun stuff. I got some ideas for the future. I really do. We'll see how it goes. And the other circle, most important to me, TreyCrowder.com, and show you links to tour dates. I'm a stand-up comedian. If I'm coming near you, come see me. But really, as long as you keep watching these silly things, I'll keep making them. I love you like chicken. See you, bye.